Hello everybody, my name is Sinkar and welcome back to another how to draw video. Today we're going to be learning how to draw Cyberdark Dragon. Cyberdark Dragon, if you want one of these cards for yourself, you can find him in the new Cyber Strike structure deck, which is what we've been going over in the latest videos today. So if you're interested in learning how to play the new Cyber Strike structure deck and you're interested in different decks that you can make using 3 of these decks, then be sure to check out the playlist above. The Cyber Strike playlist where I've been reviewing and just making new decks out of 3 of them and explaining how to play just one on its own as well, and we'll be doing more Cyber Dark drawings in the future. So without further ado, like and subscribe, get your pencils out, and let's go! So to start off this drawing, we're just going to start with the outline of his face, and then after that we're gonna go into his big sticky out horn things, because these are the easiest parts of the drawing and gives us a good basis of where to put everything else. Now, don't be intimidated by the complicatedness of Cyberdark Dragon. It's actually a pretty simple drawing, so just follow along with the movements that I do here. Cool, so once you've got the head in, that gives us a good area of where to draw in the rest of his body. It all just comes from the head. It all stems from the head and flows together, so that makes things a lot easier. So next up, we're going to go into his wings, because again, that is the most simplest part of him, because it's all just big curved lines with some points at the end. It's the same with his horns. It's all just sort of the same sort of shape, all these curved shapes. All the important thing is to just really make sure you get their positioning right, to get the proportions and everything right, which is pretty simple because it all just stems from the head, and the head being so curvy and jagged sometimes, it's pretty easy to work out where everything should be going. So again, just follow along with the movements that I'm doing here, and you should have no problem drawing these wings in. Okay, once the right wing is done, just move on to the left wing. It's all exactly the same, it's just extended out a bit more because of the perspective, the angle that he's on. But otherwise, everything is exactly the same. Just get that outline done first, and it's all very simple. We'll work on the details later. Awesome, those wings be looking fresh. So once we've got that done in, next we're just going to move into the body. This is when things start to get a little bit more complicated, but don't panic. It's all gonna be fine. It's actually a lot simpler than it looks. There's just a bunch of different sections to it, but it follows the sort of, follows the snaky-like pattern. So if you prefer, you can just draw the outline for that first, if you're doing it in pencil, which you should be. But if you just like to get right into it, if you're a bit more advanced, or if you're not doing it in pencil for some reason. I'm doing it in pen right now, so I can't do that, but if you're a bit more advanced, you can just go and copy what I do. But if you want, feel free to draw the outline, that snaky outline first, and of course feel free to look at your own card to make sure that you've got it right. Now, I'm not doing too much here. We're not going too in detail. We just want to get that outline first so that we don't feel too threatened by all the detail in it. To really make sure that you've got the curve going correctly, focus on the center point in each of the different sections. If that middle point is following the curve, then the rest of it should follow just as nicely. Keep in mind that near the end, they start getting smaller and smaller and less pointed, and they just become little rectangles going into the final point. Eventually they stop being rectangles and just become a big curve at the end once it passes its tail. Alright, not too bad so far, right? Pretty simple. Now we've got the basic outline of Cyberdark Dragon, minus a few claws and wings on the side, but we'll get to that in a bit. Next up, we're going to go right into his face and start adding a bit more detail onto this bad boy. So for his face, you want to follow the same sort of outline that we've already drawn in, and then just add a little bit of detail, 2 circles for the eyes, some jagged teeth, and a little bit of lines to connect it all with his chin. It's pretty simple. Once again, we're just going to start with the inner outline just to make things as simple as possible, and then slowly add in a few more details in here until you've got the finished product. Awesome. Nice and easy. That's his face done. Next we're going to add a little bit of detail to the horns. Very simple. We're just pretty much joining the top to the bottom, going more or less down the center, but just follow the outlines that I do here. Cool, now that that's done, we're pretty much going to do the exact same thing on the wings again. It's a line that basically goes down the middle with a few curves here and there, branching off into different places, especially just around the curves of the outline pretty much. It's very simple, just follow, once again, what I do. Cool, that's it for that. Next we're going to go into the final 3 bits of his wings, those green bits on it, where he's just got a couple circles and then some lines going up the middle to join the top and bottom. Alright, now that that's done, it's time to, first of all, draw in the last bits sticking out from his body. Those are on the side of the top of his body and just joining up the last of the wings here and there, as well as adding a couple wires in, and then we'll move into the final part of the drawing. Now, just as before with the horns and wings, we're just going to add those lines of detail onto the remaining claws. Okay, next up we're just going to do something a little bit more complicated. It's this big green part down there. Well, that got rid of the color. Hang on a minute. Shoo! Well, it doesn't matter. That part there we go, focused on it now. That big green part there, that's what we're going to do here. It's a little bit complicated, or it looks a little complicated because there's so much in it, but really it's just 4 circles and a couple lines down the middle with some shading here and there. It's pretty simple, and we'll wrap up the top part of his body, joining it to the rest of him. There we go. Not too bad, eh? Not too bad. Finally, we're going to wrap up the drawing by adding in some detail to his body/tail. So, much like with the wings, these have a line going down the middle. They all join up at the points from top to bottom, on the middle points, just curving around until it gets to the bottom. Then at the bottom, his tail turns to the side. Now on his side, he's got these little circles. What color are they? Yeah, he's got these little blue-silver circles with some blue lines going from the top, joining up to those circles just on the side. Then as it gets down to the bottom, those go to the side as well, and you can't really see them anymore, and it just sort of fades to black down, right down at the end, pretty much. So let's get right into that. And we'll finish off with a last bit of prominent shading on his wing there. And well, there's actually quite a few bits of prominent shading, but the point is you can look at your own card or an image of it for yourself. And there we go. Oops, just missed in a little bit up here, just on that wing there. No problem, and we'll join that up like so. Awesome. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too complicated for you. Hopefully you're able to follow that nice and easily, step by step. So once you break it down like that, it's actually not that hard to draw, right? It's all just very simple shapes joined together. I reckon the hardest part would be adding the detail right in the middle at the top of his body. But there we go. That is Cyberdark Dragon. Very nice. I think that turned out quite well. I think that looks pretty good. And I hope you guys think it looks good too. So if you drew one of these for yourself then, and you feel comfortable sharing, then be sure to join our Discord server. Link at the bottom of the description. Join the Senate. It's awesome to be there. Check that out. Awesome. Very nice. Yeah, and we have an art channel that you can share your art, either this or any drawings that you do, or just any art in general that you think is really nice. And of course, you can chat with me and the rest of the fans. It's pretty awesome there, and yeah, everyone has a really good time. I don't know what my hair is doing, but it keeps sticking out. I don't like it. I don't like it. Whatever. We'll work with it. We'll work with it. Now, if you like Cyberdarks, especially if you got the Cyberdark structure deck, then be sure to subscribe and check out the playlist once again by clicking that eye symbol at the top, because next week, well, this week we did 3 Cyberstrike structure decks combined, making one pretty awesome Cyberdark deck that summons Cyberdarkian in one turn. Next week, we'll be looking at 3 Cyberstrikes combined to make a Cyber Dragon deck that focuses around summoning Cyber and Dragon. Can still summon all the others as well, but that's going to be pretty awesome. A Cyber Dragon focus deck. And of course, if you're just here for the drawings, then next week we'll be drawing Cyber and Dragon, and the week after that Cyberdark End with another Cyberdark type deck. And yeah, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, if you love Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you like games, if you like Cyberdarks, if you like Hell Kaiser Rio Epic Guy Yu-Gi-Oh! GX 10 out of 10, then be sure to satisfy me by hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of when those videos come out. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, then please leave a like, a comment down below. Let me know how the drawing went. Let me know if this made it even a little bit easier. I realize it's a bit of a complicated drawing, but hopefully I was able to help out with that for anyone who wanted to draw. Thank you also very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. My name has been Sankara. And until next time, see ya.